Scale of problems that
the panel was deliberated upon the current practices in higher education institutions and highlighted that the collaboration, consortium, and connect approach should be adopted in the higher education institutions while planning, creating, and building the innovation startup ecosystem in their campuses. And by this, and after that, the first day was concluded. Today, the 12th January, the day started with the third keynote session addressed by Professor K. Vijay Raghavan, Sir, Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. He focused on research and development and technology transfer efforts in our education institutions and also highlighted innovation in our country during the post-pandemic period. The third panel discussion was a very interesting one, as that panel consisting of the young entrepreneurs and early stage startup founders. They have focused on different areas that how they have struggled during the academic period, and also they have worked on the innovations and finally developed a very successful startup. And the panelists are the Yes Bharadwaj, a young innovator, Sri Hars Nikhara, CEO and founder of Novavis Private Limited, Ms. Sefali Vinod Ramteke, founder and CEO of the PS1925, Ms. Neelam Bhaire, founder of We Wake in Green Private Limited. And this panel was moderated by Sri Uday Wankewala, CEO of Atal Incubation Center, Rambahu Mahalki Prabodhini. Then the fourth keynote address was delivered by Sri Ankit Agrawal, who is the founder and CEO of the Full Private Limited. And he focused on how the social entrepreneurship can be pursued and also still it can be profitable to survive. Then we started the last panel discussion, the fourth panel discussion on attracting big investment for innovative ideas from educational institutions. And the eminent industrialist, Dr. Anand Deshpande, founder and managing director of Persistent Systems, Ms. Sridevi Pankajam, Managing Director of Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Sri C.V. Raman, Chief Technology Officer, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, where they have provided the valuable inputs, suggestions, and recommendations how the higher educational institutions and the innovations from these institutions can attract investors and a conducive climate can be developed in our educational institutions so that these innovators will get handholding support and also guidance and funding support from the investors community. This session was moderated by Padma Sri BBR Mohan Reddy, Executive Chairman of Scient, and the suggestions we have now with us, and we will start working on these suggestions provided by these industrialists. Then just before this concluding ceremony that we are conducting now, before this we had a panel discussion and which was very, very interesting because the panelists were the school students and college students, those have developed in innovation, and also the winner of the Smart India Hackathon and Toy Hackathon, and also they bagged certain awards from DST and DBT. So these student kids and the college students, they have focused on the crossroads and also how they have struggled during the school time and also motivated themselves enough to convert these innovations, and also they have achieved to a level. Now they're looking to take their journey as an entrepreneur rather than going for a job. So this is the kind of mindset changes that are happening in our institutions. And finally, we are in the last phase of our 2 days e-Symposium and closing ceremony. And I will request and hand over to Dr. Elangovan to take the things forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepan, for summarizing various sessions and panel discussions held during last 2 days of the symposium. On behalf of AICT and Ministry of Education, hearty thanks to all the experts, keynote speakers, moderators and panelists for sparing their valuable time and enriching the participants with their rich experience. Thank you all. I would now like to invite Chief Guest of today's function, Honorable Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar sir, to address the participants.
Namaskar, warm greetings to all. Sri Rakesh Ranjan ji, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Education, Professor M.P. Punia ji, who is an eminent person for this program, Vice Chairman AICT, Dr. Abhay Jere, who is also a very important person for organization of this event, Chief Innovation Officer, Ministry of Education, Professor Rajiv Kumar ji, Member Secretary AICT, offers all these officers from the Ministry of Education and also DPIIT. I would like to extend warm greetings to all the distinguished dignitaries, officers, and staff of the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, the faculty members, and also students present here virtually. My dear friends, first of all, I would like to congratulate AICT and the Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell for organizing this e-Symposium on building innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem in educational institutions. This is very important according to our National Education Policy 2020. I would like to extend my warm regards and wishes to the Ministry of Education, AICT, and also the Ministry of Commerce, DPIIT, for jointly celebrating National Innovation Week. I am very glad to be present here today. Dear friends, we have gathered to appreciate the discussions which are helpful for the betterment of the youth and for the development of the country. Today, on the auspicious occasion of National Youth Day, I would like to share some precious thought of Swami Vivekananda ji. As different streams having their sources in different places, all mingle their waters in the sea. So, will point the different paths which may take through different tendencies, various, though they appear crackle or straight, all lead to thee. We may belong to different domains or fields, but our sole purpose is to uplift our nation, to strengthen our Bharat. Dear friends, in this event, eminent industry leaders, emerging unicorn founders, investors, and policy practitioners have joined as keynote speaker and panelist. Just few minutes back, Rajiv Kumar ji has told this is in details. I comment that they have shared their insightful as well as thought-provoking views and perspectives on different aspects of innovation and startup. I would like to mention that special panel session were also organized during these 2 days, where panelists from early stage startup founders and student innovators joined to motivate young minds to pursue innovation and entrepreneurship as a career choice. Dear friends, as all we know that Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is an initiative taken by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji to celebrate and praise 75 years of progressive India and the glorious history of our people, culture and achievements. This Mahotsav is aiming to enable Prime Minister Modi ji's vision of activating India 2.0, fueled with the spirit of Entrepreneurial Bharat, an initiative like Innovation Week will inspire us to work collaboratively to realize the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji for New India and Entrepreneurial Bharat with our concerted efforts. Research and industry should go hand in hand. The industry should be accessible to researchers, and a conducive environment should be created to augment the research and development facilities within the industries. In the current situation, a great example of this is the pharmaceutical industry. As an effective weapon in fighting the pandemic, India prepared its own vaccine and made it available to the people, not only limited to our own country, but to other nations as well. Also, the vaccine dosage reached the messages, reached the message. Approximately more than 150 crore people got their first jab in the past few months. This is what the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Is to build a self-reliant India by being dependent on yourself. The meaning of yourself here is not limited to oneself only. That is, I want to be. Self means we, our society, our country. My dear friends, as India is emerging as a hub of global startup, it's heartening to see that we are supporting, encouraging, and motivating our young entrepreneurs and innovators who are part of the Ministry of Education and Innovation, say, multiple initiatives such as the National Innovation Contest, Smart India Hackathon, YUKTI 2.0 to promote the culture of ideation and innovations and venture development within higher educational institutions. Ministry's Innovation Cell and AICT have identified 75 innovative technologies developed by student or the faculty members having startup potential and not only receiving mentoring and incubation support, but are also being financially supported with seed funds of up to rupees 10 lakhs from MIC and AICTE. As our Honorable Prime Minister